playoff predictor. And this week, we have got one of the best games probably that you will see all season long. At Kyle Field, first time since 2011 that the Aggies and Longhorns going to square off on the football field. And if that wasn't enough for you, there's a plane ticket and a trip to the SEC title game on the line. It is a win and in situation. And we welcome in our favorite guest.
Yes.
Heather Dinich, the authority on all things college football. Heather, so great to have you with us. Once again,
go ahead.
Heather's fresh off the Linear show, so she runs over different studios here, HD. So great to have you. We're going to start in the SEC, and obviously the Texas A&M game, ton of implications for the college football playoff. What should we know going into this weekend?
Wow. Okay, there are a lot of things to know about going into this weekend. So I think one of the biggest things to know is Clemson and South Carolina and the impact that game could have on the college football playoff, because Clemson at number 12 with a win could get into the college football playoff, but will it boost Clemson ahead of Boise State? Or will they be stuck there at 12? Because if they're 12, they'll still fall out for the highest ranked, the fifth highest ranked conference champion.
Okay.
Right? Are you with me there?
Yes.
I think that's probably one of the biggest takeaways. But with Texas and Texas A&M, Texas A&M is out with a loss, obviously. But Texas with a loss gives the committee a headache.
Yeah, give them a loss there. Right?
Let's see what happens there.
But they still have a 90% chance.
90.
To make
That's a 9.
It doesn't surprise me entirely, because their 2 losses would be to top 25 teams, but they don't have a lot on the resume to compensate for it. But here's the thing. Who does? Who does? I feel like we're out
Maybe
of
them.
point.
I don't know. Yeah.
You know, when we are talking about what's crazy is when we ask that question, who does? Alabama does. They're number 11 in strength of record. They have 3 top 25 wins. But they need a lot of help to get back in there.
Yeah, even with the win, it's only 34% for Alabama to get into the college football playoff. And they would need quite a bit of help just to
is it safe to say that they need Vanderbilt to beat Tennessee?
That's an easy one. They probably need, I would say, Notre Dame.
So that helps them significantly right there.
Alabama goes up by 20%. More than 20%.
I feel like they need multiple losses.
Notre Dame to lose to USC, probably. That helps.
2 things. Pick any 2 things.
Any 2 teams to lose.
Miami losing to Syracuse.
Right.
Okay, that's right. We got to keep that one in mind. Yeah.
I want to change the topic here, and let's go to the Big 12, because this is one of the craziest scenarios that you can think of. So these are the 4 teams that are at 6-2 in conference play right now. There is a chance for 8 teams to be tied by the end of the day. We're not going to, even go there yet. What should we know about the Big 12 title race right now, and as it relates to them potentially even missing the college football playoff entirely?
So that's a fair question to ask, because Arizona State is ranked 1 spot ahead of Tulane.
16 and 17.
Yeah. Right. Yep. I would not predict, as we stand here today, for the Big 12 to be left out of the college football.
Okay.
Let's get that clear. However, it is fair to ask the question, and it is a conversation, if you have a 3-loss team winning the Big 12, which is possible.
Sure. Yeah.
And Tulane runs the table. The separating factor between them is who you play in your conference championship and what are you punctuating your resume with.
Right.
Army dropped out of the top 25.
Yep.
So Tulane would be beating an unranked Army team, whereas the Big 12 winner is going to have a win against a ranked opponent.
Good point, yeah.
Okay.
That's why I think that could help them and eliminate the possibility. But people need to know that it's the 5 highest ranked conference champions, period.
That's it.
It's not the Power 4 and a group of 5. It's the 5 best highest ranked conference champions.
Wow. We've had the conversation over and over again about how Colorado can get in, and Colorado would need two of these three teams, all right, to lose for them to have a chance to play in the conference championship game. So we go ahead and show you guys the percentage. All right, bring us back, Sam. You got it.
Let's say, so they got a win.
Get a win.
And then they need a loss and any loss here, right? That gets them in. So they need two of the 3 to lose to get into the title game.
And Colorado is the 25th ranked team. Is that?
They were 16th last week. We got to update these.
Okay.
So.
Yep. Colorado, I think, is number 25.
Correct. Yeah.
Guys, the 25th ranked team, the day before the final week of the regular season, is in the conversation for the college football playoff.
Right.
I mean, if that doesn't blow your mind,
that's a great
like,
point.
welcome to the college football playoff, the 12-team.
And that's the beauty of the switch-up this year, which makes it so fun. I mean, people have their problems with this new format, but I think it's just made the regular season all the way until the end much more interesting. Now, another conference that is a topic of conversation is Clemson. So what is our thoughts on Clemson, SMU, and Miami having a chance to get in?
Let's
because
say Miami takes care of business. All right, 99 going, right? But if South Carolina wins, doesn't matter, right? It's still SMU, right? The key will be if Miami loses in this one.
Then they're in. But to your point earlier, HD, is this a de facto almost playoff game between Clemson and South Carolina this weekend?
Well, South Carolina, to me, needs more than a Clemson win because they're stuck behind 2 teams that they lost to.
Okay.
It's hard for my brain is mush right now. But they're ranked behind both teams that they lost to. So if South Carolina beats Clemson, they still need help.
Yeah.
Clemson is in a much better position. But that being said, one thing to watch this week is the common opponent, Georgia Tech, with Georgia and Miami. They could flip if Georgia beats Georgia Tech soundly, because right now they're ranked below Miami. Does it matter? It could matter to the seeding, and it could also matter if Miami does lose that game. Does it hurt their chances as the ACC runner-up?
Strength of schedule was a huge metric that we're using, but then now it's kind of not really a metric.
Well, I mean, as Ryan Day said after the game against Indiana, leave no doubt. And I would say that's for Kirby Smart, the same thing. Leave no doubt. And that's where, unfortunately, Georgia Tech, if they are beating them, you're going to be like, all right, hey, we're not slowing down. We're going to put it on them. We're going to make it an impressive victory, just to show that difference as far as who they are compared to the ACC.
Do you see this format changing at all in the future as it relates to conference champions and all that?
Yes, and I don't know how, but I just have this feeling that after they review this, somehow they're going to tweak it. I mean, the commissioners are in charge of this, but I know in talking to some of them that they truly want to see how this plays out and wait till selection day before making any knee-jerk reactions.
So this is fluid, y'all. It's fluid.
That's what it is.
Throw some hallelujah.